Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Divorced Dad's Guide, a collaboration between dadsdivorce.com and singledad.com. This is a series of videos that outline helpful parenting tips for single dads facing the unique challenges presented to them post-divorce. I'm Matt Allen, editor of dadsdivorce.com, and joining me is single parenting expert RJ, the founder of singledad.com. In this episode, we'll talk about a particularly timely issue called holiday handlings. We'll discuss what every divorced dad should know on how to handle the holidays with or without your children, especially if this is the first year that you haven't been with your kids over the holidays. First off, RJ, will you talk about the importance of planning as the holidays approach and all of the grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone's trying to get as much time as possible with the kids. So what are some best practices you should instill as you set up the planning of your holiday parenting time?
Well, first of all, Matt, if you are a newly divorced dad and this is your first holiday season, let me just preface this by saying this is going to be the most challenging season for you to manage your time. The facts are this: everyone wants to see you, everyone wants to see your children, and now you're divided amongst two households. So this doubles the challenges of your time management skills. So for most newly divorced dads who are experiencing the first holiday season, I can't stress enough how important it is to over-communicate with your ex-spouse, get the school schedules on what holiday activities are involved with school. You've got grandparents involved, you've got aunts and uncles involved, and you got to understand is that children didn't choose divorce, adults do.
Right.
And the adults that choose the divorce, it's their responsibility to help their children be available and exposed to the grandparents or aunts, uncles, or cousins, and everyone that wants to see them. So it's really hard when you're newly divorced because now you have two sets of families that are still trying to get to the same single event. So this is the one time of the year where cooperation and collaboration is at its utmost importance.
Now, holidays, they're big deals at schools, either school plays or room parties being held. So how do you handle these tricky situations when, as you mentioned, either both sets of parents want to be there, even grandparents or aunts and uncles, they also want to attend these events? You know, how do you handle that?
Well, Matt, the thing about it is it's going to happen. And there's going to be mistakes that are going to happen. There's going to be miscommunications that are going to happen. And I try to encourage every dad out there it's how you control yourself during these challenges. How do you adapt to this change? Clearly, you can make somebody wrong, and the war of words can go on, the war of the roses can go on, and that's really not going to resolve anything. What I try to encourage every dad out there is just to be able to adapt and adopt new changes according to the set plans. When you have these school activities, make sure you are the ambassador of goodwill and you're helping the other spouse, ex-spouse out by over-communicating the activities. Encourage both parents to cooperate. And I know this is an ideal situation. I know it sounds nice and pretty that I'm making it packaged like everyone works this way, but the bottom line is re-emphasizing the fact that the holidays are about the children and not about the two ex-spouses, and making sure that both people understand that and it's over-communicated to try to get both parties together during this one time of the year. You know, you can be the McCoys and the Hatfields come January 2nd. But the one time of the year you have to really focus on being great co-parents is that holiday season. And sometimes I tell my dads just to suck it up, be the bigger guy, and extend that olive leaf and show the ex-spouse that you're there to cooperate and make sure that you give the gift of giving, because you will get tenfold back by being able to be available to those events and inviting your family members to go to those events as well.
Now, many custody schedules alternate holidays, so it's very likely that some of these dads will be without their children over the holidays this year. What advice do you have for them?
Well, I can recall the first time when I had my first Christmas without my kids. It was the hardest Christmas I've ever felt.
Right.
The mom took my ex-spouse took my three kids out of the state, and it was basically just a phone call on Christmas Day that I had. And it was a very tough time. And I can only tell you, like any other dad out there, that there's no way to prepare for that feeling. But the most important thing you have to understand is you've got to take good care of yourself during the holidays. Don't overindulge in eating or drinking. get the proper exercise, get the proper sleep, and there are a boatload of activities that are in every community that will allow you to get the true spirit of the holidays, which is the gift of giving. I mean, I myself went to a soup kitchen and I went downtown here in San Diego and I volunteered my time during the Christmas holiday. That to me was very rewarding and also was very special because it filled that void that I was feeling during the holidays. And I encourage everybody to get out to the community centers, especially in the economy that we're in right now, where there's a lot of people that are hurting and a lot of people need our help. So I think if you are alone this holiday, go to your local churches, your community groups, as well as the shelters that are in every community that need your help. And the gift, really, the gift that you could be giving everybody right now is the gift of your time.
Well, RJ, thanks again for your advice and for your collaboration on this series of videos called The Divorced Dad's Guide.
Thank you very much, Matt.
That was RJ, our single parenting expert, who is the founder of SingleDad.com. And I'm Matt Allen, the editor of DadsDivorce.com. And that was a collaboration between us for a series of videos called The Divorced Dad's Guide.